It's tabletop time.
I'm Jen, and I tonight am playing Eve, your friendly neighborhood drone bot, who is super into Mario Kart recently. Yep.
Vintage, yeah, exactly. I'm Dave. I am everyone's chaperone, and tonight I will be looking after them as they go on a lovely evening exploring the upper crust, as you might say, of civilization. I will be ensuring their journey is smooth, their dice rolls are met with challenges, and in general, they all have a miserable time. I mean, a fun time. Fun time. Their characters have a miserable time.
I don't know if I should trust you or not. I definitely shouldn't trust you. I'm Jazza, and I play Pro, someone who has dabbled with competence recently, but is otherwise very good at putting his foot in his mouth. Let's see how he goes at a very prestigious social occasion.
And I am Rob. I play Sebastian Allen, a genetically engineered human who's supposed to be perfect. Unfortunately, his entire worldview has been shaken as he was brutally tortured, and he is a broken man.
Nice.
Speaking of broken man, well, actually, there was quite a bit that happened last episode.
I don't know what you're talking
Because
about.
we started in the city,
What are you
didn't
talking
we?
about?
We started in the city? Did we start in the hospital? No, because that was the episode before.
We started at Ugly's Bar.
We started at Ugly's Bar.
Oh, I haven't. Bloody Ugly hasn't been anywhere for ages. People have been missing
That's
Ugly for
right.
sure.
There was a call with our unknown caller. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who could that be?
Well, who knows? There was a little bit of back and forth there. That's probably your thing.
Just
What
up the unknown caller.
What do you recall about that?
Is it
Eve?
this one? This one?
Oh,
Oh no! Oh no! Whoops! Oh no!
Just press and wait once.
so correct me if I'm wrong. Since
How do I
last,
go back to the regular screen?
Jen.
Thank you. Which one is that?
It's just the TTD.
That one there, or
Yep.
that one? That
No,
one.
no, that one, yeah.
Cool.
correct me if I'm wrong, but at the start of last episode, 3 months had passed, or a month had passed. A month had passed. I put down 3 for some reason. And Eve managed to connect with her other units, so she essentially has a way of rebooting. She also received a call from Uriel, who wanted to make another deal.
From who? Sorry, from the mysterious caller.
person. I, in my notes, have written Uriel. That I don't know if
You
that's
should have
correct.
written the mysterious caller.
I don't know
It's
if
so
that's-
mysterious.
It could absolutely be a red herring. I don't know. Which I didn't care about, and instead asked him to find me a police battery that we need from a drone. And he says he will sort that out for us.
He said he'll send a police drone to kill you.
Yeah.
But the interest for him about the fact that it could resurrect possibly an AI is that I think that's what I got from it. It's like this battery could resurrect this machine, which could be part of this fraction
Less
from the fall.
AI, more something like Eve. A thinking drone, but of a different form, like a precursor almost. Like an earlier form of
Sentience.
technology that may have found sentience, but isn't AI, because in this universe, AI is the sense of like the giant thinking computer that can solve everything.
He also informed us that Songbird's New You process has gone through without our knowledge.
Yes. She's been newed.
Yeah. Now, I think it was we felt doors closing around us, and we were discussing as a group that these opportunities were closing. There was this meeting coming up, but we would have been attending this meeting with absolutely zero power because they didn't need us anymore. They sort of got what they needed from us. So that was when Pro suggested to Seb, let's get our power back. You need to talk to your parents. So we went back because that was the reason that we've been just removed from any sort of influences, because they've slowly sort of phased out your...
Seb has removed himself from his influence in a way.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
But you reunited.
I did. I met with Mother Dearest, almost entirely back to my former self. So all of my limbs have regrown except one of my legs is still slightly underdeveloped, although the right size. We had a heart-to-heart, and Seb confessed to the level of inner turmoil that he's facing and his values and beliefs being shattered, and just genuinely how he feels about society.
on the edge of giving up hope, if not having given up.
Oh, no, that's long gone.
So having given up hope, but then getting together as a group, we're heading to the party, and Pro has just realised. Did you just rip a massive?
No, it was my jacket.
Jen,
I'm sorry.
We were in character. It was like intimate, and you just go and rip a massive.
You made it too intimate, Jen.
Oscar made Pro an offer as well. To basically thank him and to...
Oh, yeah.
He offered him basically a job and a life and said,
Yeah.
if you want to leave the slums and work in the corpse, a promise that never gets given to anyone is yours to take. All you have to do is ask.
But then also separate to that, another offer that Pro is very excited about is in exchange for basically loyalty and protecting his son, he gets free upgrades. So Pro is going to use this as the opportunity to help Seb and Pro find the people they're looking for.
And good upgrades, I think, is important.
Very good upgrades.
And right as it seemed that Seb was losing his last threads of whatever you want to call it, hope, even if it's long gone, he's kind of making, he's as it feels like Seb is crossing a threshold in the opposite direction. We have had some leads, and Pro knows now that he has the path to Joseph, the horrifying surgeon that hurt Seb, but also that he believes he's finally got the connection to the circle and could lead to Maya.
And that's where we left off, is Pro breaking the news to Seb, who had separately and privately just confessed his giving up on everything, actually had a genuine ray of hope. Whether Seb will manage to hold on to that or see it or not, who knows? But let's pick up where we left off.
Find out on the next exciting episode.
That's now!
Reboot.execute.
That's now, you guys! Woo! Yeah! All right. Take it away.
Let me just
Take what away?
Al Gordo sends his regards. Remember that? Remember that classic line? My nose is so itchy, everyone. So itchy. So if I'm doing this whole episode...
Too many nose beers?
My God. No, it's spring and I get hay fever. So I've got the old itchy nose.
You wouldn't think
it is spring. It's almost summer, but I've noticed that, since the whole climate change thing, Aussie summer seems to be happening about a month later than it did when I was a kid.
I feel like we're still in the middle of winter.
It's tumultuous spring.
And yesterday.
Anyway.
And the day before.
So, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Bum, bum, bum.
The car you were traveling in, that could be better described as a limousine, arrives at its destination. The doors slide open, and as you look out and up, you see a sprawling city tower. There is a symbol on the front, sort of above, reminiscent of a tiara. It's quite elegant. And the name of the building, the Monarch's Legacy.
Is it nighttime?
It is nighttime. You are located on the southern part of the central city. And the giant tower in front of you is a gorgeous, gorgeous tower that is not in fact one, but two, joined at the midsection by a big column that spreads across a river, connecting what is south of the river to what is north of the river. Basically like a H. So it's two towers going up with like a arterial connection between them. Spotlights and holograms dance and flicker across the surface, and gilded gold reliefs and sort of modern art sculptures spiral up the base of it. It's opulent. It's not tacky, though. It's genuinely a beautiful building. There's plants and ferns on the ground. And as the car pulls in, you realize that there's sort of like a main entrance, and Seb has probably never been here, or maybe been here once, but you know it's a hotel. Mm-hmm. There's a main entrance. Yeah. There's something on the map as H.
We don't go to that one, building shaped in an M.
So there's
a motel.
Sorry, Dave.
There's two main entrances that cars can go in, like the full valet parking sort of rotunda where you go under and there's the roundabout and the cars go in and stop off the road. There's a main entrance and one that's a bit smaller off to the side, and the car has gone to the smaller section off to the side. It seems to be reserved for exclusive functions. And as the door opens, men in suits, men and women in suits with sort of dark glasses and what you can guess are small cybernetics that make them look like security personnel, are chaperoning fellow guests dressed in their finest evening wear. You are directed to get out of the car casually by, hotel service staff.
Before we do, I just want to quickly ask, Rob or Seb, has Seb made any sort of effort to mask his
what?
apathy?
Oh,
How did he react to Pro's announcement?
he's reserved. He doesn't look apathetic.
Okay. But he doesn't seem to jump to it in the way I think Pro would have hoped. So I think it probably was a very quiet drive.
Yeah, I would say that.
Quite uncomfortable.
He just looks thoughtful when you tell him.
And Pro decides to feel nervous about the upcoming evening instead of thinking too much about it.
Welcome, Allen Party. Right this way. And a serviceman leads you. Is there anything I can take? Your coats? No?
I'm fine, thanks, sir.
Wonderful. This way. And he heads.
What's Eve wearing?
You're wearing a cocktail dress, aren't you?
Apparently.
If you yeah, don't say apparently like I'm forcing you to. You're wearing whatever you want. I just offered it and you were like, yeah, I guess.
Isn't that weird?
No. There's robots, there's drones wearing clothes everywhere.
They're like pets.
Okay, sure.
You wore clothes
Sure.
as a nurse. You had a nurse uniform on.
Then Eve does pick out something that she thinks would be kind of like super weird, like a
I'm
really
like
odd cocktail.
1920s
Like a Lady
flapper.
Gaga style
Yeah.
fashion statement.
Yeah, because she's
Just
kind of
meat.
is-
Just wearing meat.
It is. You get the picture that it is literally like the rich people can show off double. Because, if someone goes to the gala in their super expensive designer dress with their attendant butler bot that is also in another ridiculously expensive designer dress, it's just like double the showing off.
Okay. Yeah, Eve, to go with the sort of yellow puffer jacket theme, she picks out a dress that's kind of a bit crazy.
Okay, you are at about a 10% on the crazy scale. You pick the craziest dress that Nyla has,
Great.
which is not very crazy, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
fine.
a little bit left of corporate business, which
Yeah.
is pretty much everything she owns.
Fantastic.
And you are ushered inside. Downstairs, you enter what is fairly clearly a luxury hotel lobby. There's bollards and people and robots, but no one is here that isn't being directed to the function. There's little A-framed hologram placard things coming up showing off function, reboot, etc. In the center of the building, you can see efficient-looking bullet-like elevators that all just go up the center as you would. But you're directed to the edge of the building, in fact, towards the walls you just came out of, where gold gilded steps with black marble flooring lead you up to a sort of semi-floor, like a half floor up, onto the sides of the main entrance. There are ferns around, and there is a row running around this circular edge of the building. There are these rows of doors that seemingly lead back outside, and you're led to one of these doors. The door opens, and inside is what appears to be an elevator. It's a rounded capsule-like elevator, but it's probably double the size of an elevator that you're used to. It's quite sort of spacious. In the corner, there is a black drone with gold gilt decorations, wearing a red velvet tailed coat with a white shirt and bow tie. As you enter, the Allen Party. Would you care for a drink?
Sure.
Do you have anything non-alcoholic?
Of course.
I'll take that.
Strongest you've got.
Martini, coming right up. he begins to mix a cocktail. A few other drinks get ordered by, Oscar, Nyla both order a drink. And then after a moment, and you've all filed in, the door closes behind you. And he says, going up to the reboot function. His hand spins holding a cocktail shaker, literally just at the joint, spins like 4 rotations. And then he like shakes it out with a flair that is beyond what a human could achieve, using perfect like gravity to like arc a chain of fluid across the air and catch it all in a cup and like swirl it around. Everything is precision. Flicks up a toothpick with a couple of olives on it that like gently alights inside the martini, and he slides it across. And as this box ascends slowly and gently, you don't feel any of that like elevator lifting up. It's super slow and gentle. The wall suddenly goes from opaque to non-opaque. It just fades into perfect crystal clarity. And you are in a bubble that is slowly ascending on the side of the building, looking out towards the city. But in a feat of engineering marvel, it's not going up. It's corkscrewing up at a very gentle angle around the side of the building, sliding up with almost, it doesn't even feel like there's any motion. It's just gently gliding up at a really casual pace. And you can look out onto the city. You feel like this will be your last moment of privacy before the night.
Never feels less insulting. I sort of mumble, looking out at the beautiful lights.
I guess the slums is insulting in its own way as well.
It's all pretty fucking insulting when you think about it, but maybe tonight we shouldn't think about it too much. Maybe tonight, let's think about Songbird. Let's make this work.
Well, she should be here.
The way I see it, you have a choice, says Nyla.
Was she
Yeah,
always
your
with
whole
us?
family's with
Oh
you.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's sort of like, you can continue to act petulantly, rail at a system that has failed you, or enjoy your night, because it might be the only one you get.
Usually when I have the choice to focus on where I am, because it might be my last moment, it's under different circumstances. So you probably have a point.
I recognize that I will never understand what you've been through in your life, Peter, but as much as you dislike this, surely you can see the beauty.
I can, but it's really hard to appreciate how nice green grass is when you're looking at it through a chain link fence and you're wrapped in barbed wire and you have been your whole life, you know? It's beautiful, but it doesn't make it hurt any less.
And people have suffered for all of human history.
Don't have much to say in response to that. What's Eve doing?
I mean, for majority of this entire night, Eve is not going to act outside of her normal parameters. So she will not say or do anything that would expose her.
Come now. Let's not be so grim, talking about human suffering and all that. Let's just enjoy a good night hosted by some top-notch assholes, hey?
Sounds like a plan.
After all. And he clicks his fingers at the butler. Drinks are on them, hey?
If you don't mind me asking before we step out into the fray, how are things between the Allens and the, well, is it, what's his name, Oscar? No, this
Oscar's,
is Oscar.
yeah,
This
Isaac.
is
Clements.
Isaac, yeah, and the Clements.
They're trying to push us out, as they have been for a long time, but thanks to you all, and he smiles, we've got some new aces in our hole.
Is there anything we should keep in mind to play into making sure we're building the strength of the position of the Allen family? If we're here as representatives and I'm company property, surely I need to know to make sure I'm on my best behavior in the right way.
Be respectful, I guess.
He kind of blusters for a moment. And Nyla, if you want to do something to help us, find weaknesses in everyone, anyone. Make connections, network, get allies, find your enemies. That's how it works. Every person in here is a viper. And sometimes you need the antivenom. Sometimes you just need to know how to kill them.
And that's the sort of real talk I was hoping for.
Just going to be eating my olives, and then I'll shove back my drink. Just single swallow.
Cool. And after some time, spinning around, looking over the beautiful, pristine, clean river underneath you, the shop fronts, fine dining restaurants that run its length, and the old defunct dockyards that you can just make out. Seb, the only one who knows.
Some things never change. So
Seb, the only one who knows that the coastline doesn't even look like that. You can see where the illusion is. You can see that point where derelict buildings and slums should be, but where a Bay of Melbourne that's never looked so pretty currently is all you can see in that direction.
I order another drink.
You are attended in a lovely way by the robot. And eventually the elevator reaches the top. The door slides open. There. Oscar takes the lead, walking straight into the room. You enter a waiting hall where you can see now it's like a slowly, as every area you travel through, the concentration of people builds up. But everyone is flowing from their different pods that are all arriving directly towards this large open entrance hall. A large, like, quadruple door that's open. And you've taken with the flow of everything kind of just to end up in there. And you enter a massive gilded chamber. It runs from the north to the south tower. Viewing ports run along the length of it, looking directly down into the river. It's like glass floor. Domed glass roofs above. The whole roof is just this dome of glass, reveals a starlit sky punctuated with sort of brightly coloured spotlights and holograms floating around and dancing. In the sky above, there's literally animated dancing motes and lights, and it's beautiful. It's like being in a fairy garden. It's a stunning sight. And underneath, you can see plants, flowers, tropical delights that you've never seen in your life in these big planter pots, tastefully arranged all around this basically gorgeous conference hall / meeting hall. It is, without a doubt, probably the most beautiful place you've seen in your entire lives. If there was a corporate Garden of Eden, you are standing in it. And that includes Seb. Like, it is not ugly rich. It is so nice. It's just like everything is being done by the best in the world. What drags your attention as the gold and white chamber gets the splashes of life from the plant is the movement. Drones prowl around, attending to hundreds of guests. There are butlers with the same velvet jackets everywhere, but there's also personal attendants at almost a 1-to-1 ratio with guests. The guests are dressed in their finest clothes, as are their attendants. The preening elite, they're laughing, they're talking, they're sharing, they're smiling. Everything is perfect. Everything's perfect. And you see also something that you've basically never seen, aside from, in Pro's case, some mangy street animals that people can barely afford to feed. Pets. There are pets attended to by drones wandering around like the newest fashion. And as you all take in the room, what snaps your attention back to the present is the sharp snarl of a thylacine as it yawns and licks its teeth.
What's that?
Tasmanian tiger.
Ah.
On a collared rope next to a drone near a rich-looking family. And here you are, in your playground. You have control of the camera back.
I am not good at social stuff. Like, I really want to be useful, but holy shit, I am out of my element right now. Any tips?
It's simple. Just pretend you're better than them. And with that, I shot my second drink and plaster a smile on my face and walk.
Lovely. All right.
God damn, you're good.
And the Allens disperse, as you expected to happen. And you are staying as a group?
I'm staying with Eve. Seb's gone. I'll probably
you can come with me if you want.
Okay, I'll be following.
Just following behind a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm following from a bit of a distance. I want to be more observational.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So is your goal to like mill and preen and talk the way you usually would know how to?
I'm going to be intentionally like schmoozing and ingratiatingly like positive.
Lovely and positive to people.
Yep.
Cool.
But like over the top.
Okay. But I'm going to get Pro to make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh. Actually should do a question.
Yeah.
Today, your big event, big party, did you rely on chemicals?
That's a good question.
Because we did a roll for like how you'd been in the intervening month, but today is the question.
I am going to say... I'm going to see... Hang on. I'm just going to let Destiny see if the direction I'm thinking might happen will happen. Okay, it's right
Middle of the road.
Right down the middle. Okay, let me reason this out. Pro is very nervous. He's very outside of his element. He's also trying to overcome his worst tendencies as he's trying to transform himself into what he needs to be to get the job done. I think with all of that being at the forefront of his current experience, he's probably not going to... He'll be feeling like withdrawals and struggling and like...
You'd have that voice in your head at this stage of your using that's basically saying that like that is what makes you able to have an edge though. Like, so that's what you're fighting against because you're at that stage of addiction. You'd be going like, if I want to be sharp and professional... Yeah. So that's just something to think about. Oh, it's your character, but
yeah,
I feel like
that's a really good point. Like he's fucking up his whole body to get the job done too. So like, you know, in terms of becoming cybernetic. So when you put it that way,
mechanically, you have perception negatives when you're not on drugs.
Conversation Pro just had in his own head.
Okay.
He was just having he was just having that with himself. It's like, no, I got to put this stuff behind me. And then he realized like, you know, no, I can't.
This is what makes me good.
I can't be my limitations. And I feel like the sensors in my arm can sense as I'm squeezing this glass that I'm holding when it's at the brink of shattering and I hold back, knowing that I have that amount of control. I'm like, feels good. And he like sort of itchingly sort of says to Eve, let's go to the bathroom. I'll be back real quick.
Cool.
Understood.
Make a roll.
Okay. So he enters the bathroom. He goes to find a cubicle. He's going for private. And he's trying to be... He's trying to do this like in a mathematical equation.
As you walk in to the unisex bathrooms. There are two women giddily laughing and a drone holding a gilt tray as they rail off 3 lines. It's just straight up, like in the open. Like someone walks out, no one cares. This is high society. Like these two women are laughing. This drone is just like cutting them up drugs, and like there you go. And they're like, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the corpse.
Okay. Got to play the game they play, huh? And I'm still used to doing it in private.
Yeah, cool.
Goes over to cubicle, lines it up, and he tries to. He's actually doing it like he's a coder. Like he's trying to figure out what is the equation that is going to find me the balance, to fine tune me. But I know where it loses my control, and so I don't want to look odd or act odd. I've just got to be sharp.
You're lying to yourself in the way that drug addicts lie to
100%.
themselves. I love it.
Okay.
You're in control.
Fucking 19.
You are
So
in
close.
control. You are so in control. In fact, you're riding high. You don't have any negatives to perception, and you get +1 to all reflex-based skill checks,
yes.
which includes perception.
Beautiful.
So your eyes like flare. You are on. Your eyes are darting around. You're fully like your tiredness washes away as that burst of drug-fueled drug enters your brain.
Drug fuel drug.
I don't know drugs. I'm just making it up. I've seen movies though. So you exit the cubicle when you're ready.
I think he's going to spend a couple of minutes in front of the bathroom mirror. He's like,
Okay, so you go out to the bathroom mirror. The girls are still there.
Yeah.
They giggle and laugh and offer you. They're like, "Oh, hi," and then just like this gold tray gets lent towards you.
Oh, you're too kind. But
It's the finest synth.
might take you up on that later. I just have a call to make.
If there's any left, they laugh. That was them snorting drugs.
Very graceful.
Yeah.
I just sort of try and zhuzh a little bit. Like my hair's pretty long and scraggly and a little unkempt, so I'm just like tying it back and just making sure I'm washed out or whatever. And I actually go up to the bathroom butler. I'm assuming it's the bathroom butler.
No, that was their personal attendant.
Theirs. Okay.
Yeah. There is a bathroom butler. Yeah, for
go
sure.
up to the bathroom butler and
He's
be
probably
like,
recording everything you all do, but that's Reboot, baby.
yeah. I go up to the bathroom butler and I'm like, I was in a rush. Would you mind pointing out any inconsistencies in my outfit? I want to look a little nice for my guests.
In front of his face, 2 little projectors flick on and project directly in front of his face. You think Zhang would probably, this would be really helpful for her. And text just goes in front of his face rather than him saying a word. And it says, "Of course, sir." And he just delicately like wipes a few things and puts, you feel like you've never been more put in shape. He like walks around behind you and pulls the jacket into tightly in under your arms and like gets everything neat. Whose suit were you wearing again?
I'm assuming
It was the
would've picked
one that
something
I
up.
got from Seb's connection when we went into the city that one time.
Cool.
Seb's butler. So it is a city.
Well, it's from a city suit shop. He goes down and you hear this sound of something sort of extracting from him, and you get a little bit nervous from your flashbacks. Look back and there's a little pin thing come out of his finger, and he like unpicks a couple of stitches that were holding a flap in place that you didn't know that you were meant to like unpick.
Yeah.
And then he neatens it all up, leans back and just says, "All done. You look wonderful," on his text.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good evening.
And you get the sense that people don't want talking robots in their bathroom. It makes them feel like there's some presence in there. Whereas if it's silent, it's more ignorable.
That's so cool. All right. Pro walks out like he just wrote a really good line of code. Instead, he did a really good line of code. But he's actually feeling like, okay, yeah, I've got capabilities here. And he's actually feeling like, you know what, I could blend in here. I can blend in.
And as you take those steps out of the bathroom, which is sort of on one of the edges, and steps descend into the central room, I would like you to make a perception check as you kind of enter security guard mode a little bit, or prowling, whatever you'd call your on mode, your prowling mode.
What I can soak in.
But
who
more
I can see.
the specific things of
Yeah.
note. I want to look above the crowd.
3.
Cool. So you'll kind of start to look at the real people who pull your attention. And while socializing, Seb, I'd like you to make the same check, a perception roll. However, I'm going to give you a -2 disadvantage because you're in the mix. So sort of at this type, Pro's like prowling around the outside. He's on an elevated station. He can like kind of watch people mix. You are mixing. So there's people talking to you. You have to sort of pay a bit of attention to, whatever. 3. You both got the same. Okay. But you both noticed some slightly different things. Eve, perception-wise, what are you doing? Are you just sticking with? Or?
Sticking with, but I would like to try and perceive if I can hear drones that are having like kind of weird personality conversations.
Yeah. Cool. And while you get your dice out, I will start doing everyone else. All right. So, Bro, you begin to notice people that stand out. The first one you notice is a rakish woman with severe features but some musculature on her body, but everything's cut to that incredible thin, like sallow cheekbones and like broad shoulders, but
age?
Middle-aged, probably about 50 to 60. So slightly older than that. She stands out as she's in a formal uniform festooned with medals. She has a short, cropped, blonde, natural hair, no piercings in her ears, anything like that. And she's having a conversation with some fine, wealthy-looking people.
What about her do I notice? Just that she seems military and a little...
It's the uniform and it's the station and it's the way she's carrying herself. So obviously this place is full of rich people. This perception check is allowing you to detect kind of like persons of interest that stand above the crowd of just corporate rich people.
Yep.
You also notice a middle-aged Japanese man. He is artificially handsome. Like you can tell he's had... You don't think he's being new-used or rebooted. You get that look of high-level sort of surgeries and treatments. He's attended to by a pair of geisha, which is very abnormal. And that's what draws your attention to him. They don't seem robotic. They seem human. The other thing that you catches your eye is you see a small girl, you'd estimate about 6 to 7 years old, surrounded by what look like lapdogs and lackeys. She is drinking excessively, like trying to kill herself, drinking excessively, laughing almost maniacally. But as you have for a half second catch her eyes, there's just something in that moment that is incredibly unsettling. There's like, it's just like it's the look you've seen in like Ugly's eyes as he's tearing someone's throat out. Like it's not it's like the wolf thing. Sebastian, you don't notice too many people. But you do notice separately and down on the floor, Rags. It's looking just as unkempt as ever and very out of place, talking to some people. You also notice Bespoke to Bespoke. A Bespoke you've never seen before. There is a beautiful and tall woman wearing an elegant ball gown in high heels, dark skin, but she draws your eye because she has sharp, pointed ears like an elf. There's some gold jewelry, but you also notice that kind of jewelry is like the kind that Bespoke wear. It's clasped on rather than piercing because it doesn't work. And she carries herself just a bit differently. She's a Bespoke and she carries herself as such. She has attention drawn to her. How many did you get, Jen?
3 successes.
You do not find anything in regards to robots acting abnormally, but you do see Uriel and skulking or slinking in the corner, not skulking, looking out of place and like they don't want to be there. Gabrielle as well. You also spot Isaac and Persia, basically far down the end of the hall, surrounded by people. And at that stage, that's all you see. That's maybe later you'll spot some more people, but for now, that's it.
I make my way back to the group.
You'll meet up.
I'm going to send a drink to the girl,
Okay.
but I'm going to continue schmoozing.
Okay. Destiny roll 19.
Bit of air. Feeling better. Now, look, have you noticed anything worth being conscious of before we start to emerge ourselves into their social niceties?
Yeah, nothing of particular interest, I don't think. There's a new bespoke here, but, you know, it's becoming more common.
That military lady, who's that?
Make a general knowledge check. Seb is who I'm asking to do that.
Challenge level.
Probably 4.
4.
You recognize the woman with medals as Nani Hageman. And she...
Heishman?
Yeah. She's the chief of police.
That's your into the tin can. I'm assuming you let me know.
That's about all you know. You don't know much about her. You know that she has a very, very good reputation in the city.
She's probably your worst enemy. That's the chief of police.
Ah, the boot. Great. Gotta keep your enemies close then, huh? Nice to finally fucking meet them.
Yeah, probably best to stay away from them if we can.
And geisha guy over there. He's just an odd fellow.
Another check. General knowledge 5 for him.
I'd love if you just get these. It'd be so good.
I didn't.
Ah,
4.
4.
You don't recognize him. What you do recognize is some of the symbols on the geisha's robes from a Japanese robotics company.
Do I know what? Robotic?
It's not Ningyo. It's a different one.
He's
It's sort of legally distinct from a famous car company in today's era. So think along those lines.
he's
from Boyota.
I was thinking Royota.
Royota.
Yeah.
Royota.
Ryota. It's just some Japanese businessman. I think he's in cars.
Cool. And that 7-year-old trying to drink herself to death.
Can I go again?
Yep.
Challenge level?
I'm going to say you need to get a general knowledge of 3 and a perception check of 5.
That was general knowledge, I
Okay,
imagine.
I've got the general knowledge.
Yeah.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 6. 5.
Seb looks across, takes a moment, looks up and down, eyes narrow, lean back, lean forward, tilt your head a little bit, bespoke brain ticking and ticking. You've never seen this girl in your life, ever. You look at the people she's with, you look at the maniacal laugh as she throws back like 2 shots of whiskey and just laughs as like a couple of people gasp nearby and like looking down and are kind of shocked. That is Phoenix Baker. He is one of the oldest and most powerful people in the city, and he is a corporate financier. And he has rebooted more than any known living person in the world. From what you know, because you rolled well, he is fucking unhinged. And the only reason that he hasn't, that people still kiss ass and deal with him is because he is so influential and powerful. He controls a lot of money and a lot of investments. He doesn't seem to have any ethical concerns about the idea of rebooting being personality death. his brain doesn't seem to comprehend that. He kills himself for fun and to fuck with people. And he just goes through bodies like new toys. And tonight he just wants to fuck around and basically make people shocked. And you wouldn't be surprised if he ends up dead at the end of the night.
Oh, no.
He won't be dead for long. And he's Reboot's best customer.
Yeah. That's Phoenix.
I'll give you one more for fun, just for fun. Because I didn't actually expect you to make that roll. You know he has personally ruined people's lives for fun by killing himself. Like, literally, not necessarily. He always picks random bodies. Tonight it's just a kid. But he has, like, slept with someone, just pulled out a gun, shot himself in the head. And then they've gone for murder.
Wow.
That is Phoenix. Words cannot describe how wrong he is. Stay the fuck away.
That's all the sort of thing I'm looking to know. So, aside from learning who to avoid, who we go to, we should at least do the due diligence and pay our respects and thanks to our good friend.
The Clements. Yeah, I agree. But
The gentle fingers touch the back of Seb's arm.
I turn.
And who bought me this fine drink?
Do I know them?
Nope.
Can I roll for that?
I can tell you that you haven't met them because they're new to town.
I turn around. Sebastian Allen.
Nightingale. She puts her hand out.
Charmed.
Do we get to make a roll?
You don't know her.
We do. Okay.
You can't download information
All right,
into your
okay,
brain.
all right, yeah.
Okay, general knowledge check on the name now that you've been given it. Challenge level 5.
Great.
You have not met her.
So, Nightingale, what brings you to Melbourne on a beautiful night like this?
I've just come from Perth.
Ew.
Why you?
Why would you want to live somewhere so remote?
Well, it's one of the largest metropolises the west of the continent.
While this conversation is going on, can I tell if she's lying?
Sure. Make a perception check.
Can I converse while you're doing this, or are we waiting?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, go, yeah.
Hey, look, if there's money to be made there, I can't hold it against you, but I wouldn't choose to live there.
So-
What do you do, if anything?
I sing. I'm performing tonight.
Oh, this evening's entertainment.
Very exciting. What an honor.
Well, we'll see. This is a fairly large crowd.
You're used to smaller audiences?
Well, as you say, Perth.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to put on a better show than Phoenix. But I look forward to your performance.
She raises an eyebrow. Phoenix?
And I nod towards Phoenix.
The little girl that's drinking?
That's the one.
You said boy before.
No,
Yep.
it's...
It is a
Currently.
fully grown man that has rebooted into a young girl.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's over 100.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he's a very old man.
Okay.
Currently a 7-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reboot has great ethics.
Let's put it this way, just stay away from him. He likes to shock people for fun.
I didn't particularly want to hang out with a child anyway. How are you all this evening?
Very
She
excited.
smiles.
It's an event, isn't it? We're celebrating
What are you celebrating?
a new age. I sort of say as a butler walks by and I sort of grab a drink from the tray. To better people. I mean,
Yes.
I'm the only normie in this group. A dying breed, but there's a bold new world.
Not necessarily forever.
How do you mean?
What was your name again? Sorry.
Peter.
Peter. Perhaps there's always new you.
There's always new you.
And she raises a glass.
Cheers.
She drinks. Eve, who has been observing this interaction passively, there is an active performance in this interaction. There is definitely falsity at play, and there are things that you notice that are inconsistent behavior. A little bit unsure, smiles here and there, suppressed laugh here and there. Like there's a joke at play.
Okay.
And she says, well, I guess you'll see me later.
I look forward to your performance. Good luck.
Do enjoy your night.
You too.
And thanks for the drink.
Anytime.
She smiles at you and then walks away.
That woman, she is not what we perceive her to be.
I don't think anyone here is.
Well,
Bunch of fucking weirdos.
Right. Just a protocol moving forward. It might be best to just use your onboarding computing every time you get a name. Find out as much as possible.
Got it. Will do. And I immediately just start looking up Nightingale as a performer in Perth.
Okay. Make a... Not hacking. Make an intelligence check, but the challenge... Just a raw intelligence, but the challenge is low. It's just going to be 2. Do
Okay.
some internet diving on the fly.
Cool. 4.
Cool.
Crit. Oh, that sucks. Dave rolled an 8 on a destiny roll.
That's all right.
Something or other.
Be good.
Just whether or not it's
Could
good or
have
bad
been
for you
4
guys.
Nightingale.
How many did you get?
4.
4 successes.
4 out of 4.
You dig. And...
Did you call him?
You what?
I'm confused. Sorry. You dig. Then I said you dig.
That's what it sounded like.
How
You dick.
dare you?
You dick! How could you beat my rolls? You've ruined my story. So, you look it up and you find stuff. You know, she's an up-and-coming performer, bespoke, sings, and it's all there. Until it starts to fall apart because you're a little bit better than that. And there's information in place, but there's inconsistencies, timelines, backgrounds. It seems a little fabricated.
And I'm sort of standing, just gazing out the window and just gently sort of looking like I'm swilling my glass, but I'm also just controlling my computer and like swipe, scroll. I sort of turn around nonchalantly and I say, yeah, it's all a cover. She's not a performer, but maybe she'll be performing.
Did she look bespoke
Yeah.
on the outside?
Yes.
Just pointy ears.
She has elf ears and like green crystalline eyes.
But can someone mod themselves to look bespoke but not actually be?
You know, to a degree.
But she's got green eyes, which bespoke have purple eyes, right?
No, bespoke
No.
have whatever eye color they want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can.
Okay.
It's like I described that Japanese businessman as being surgically and sort of altered. There's a degree to which you can't get the same. That you can push humans beyond what humans can be with being a bespoke. Or yeah.
And you can be rebooted
Into a bespoke.
into a bespoke.
Yeah.
No.
Or renew you into a bespoke, sorry.
A new you is
Yeah.
a bespoke, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
you can't reboot if you're bespoke.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So the night goes on
Can I have an agenda?
of the evening.
Yeah, that isn't part of the storyline. I just want to go around to everyone I'm schmoozing with and boast about what fantastic work I'm doing in the slums and how much money I've spent on the slums to make it a better place as a point of pride, and then bait people into doing charity work with their money. This is
Destiny
all the
rolled
rage.
9. I rolled Destiny and got a 9. You do that, and you are met with equal boasts of charitable actions already being undertaken. Companies, shell companies, food, the farmer, the this and that. It's like everyone you talk to has a fucking laundry list of charities that donate and support the slums, and they're all just as proud to like boast back at you. As soon as you gush, they gush professionally back at you.
Okay.
To the you're no worse than them, but it's just like two people being like, oh yeah, and it's the biggest backpatting, but none of them commit to anything.
Yeah. So I can't get them to commit to something. That
They're
was my
already
intent.
committed. I rolled a 9.
I was gonna.
I'm just gonna destiny roll how Pro takes that. Okay, he's coping. I got a 14. But that's a lot for Pro to like hear, like person after person, group after group, like talking about how much they're helping the slums.
I just want to
And
get
the
to do
worst
like
part is everything they're saying rings true. That's the worst part. You just know how fucking meaningless it is in the scheme of
like
things.
a shitty used Band-Aid on a torn.
I mean, you know that the
neck.
slums, the very first episode of Reboot, you saw a guy demanding to see his children that he'd been sponsored. You know that the whole slums are propped up on these, but you know it's just an ego boost. There's not genuine help. It's just Band-Aids. Feed them enough food so they can have 4 more children that need to be fed. Don't do anything about their living standards or education or anything that can actually uplift them and make them live a comfortable life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you, as the night wears on, if you don't want to approach any of the people I've introduced, I'm going to give you each one more roll of a perception check to detect more people. Otherwise, and you got 3 last time, so you're looking for more than 3.
I am going to approach the Japanese business person.
Okay.
was sort of warned off the others, so I will keep my distance and sort of.
Are you also going to do a perception check?
Yeah. This is just for general happenings.
That's 2.
3.
Eve, if you get more than 3, you will get more people that you will not see if you do not get more than 3.
All right.
Just letting you all know that. You have destiny points you want to spend.
I rolled pretty hot tonight.
Not saying you have to. You can ignore people. Fucking 5 successes out of 5.
Wow!
5 out of 5.
Eve's out eyes tonight.
Critical success, yay. I see everything.
Eve, you notice there are a few people around that you didn't notice before, that they have seamless cybernetics. They stalk through crowds with precision, and the only reason you've noticed them is because they don't pretend around you as much as they do. They're cold, professional, wearing perfectly fitted suits, smug expressions, but they're scanning the room like pro. But their bodies, as you see them up close, are almost entirely cybernetic. They have shell faces. They look like humans, but as one walks past, you see the micro seam of where you know that their facial plating would be able to peel back. And you almost get a moment of fear. There's something in the way they stalk around. And you'd seen in the past on Pro's computers, some of his work that he's done, this idea or this concept is joked about in the slums. It's talked about, they're referenced. You have a feeling that some of these people might be corp assassins. The perfect disguise, but deadly and powerful. And probably if you were to like rank people's danger level, the most dangerous people in the world. Short of full military things, but full military things are very obvious. And as you scan around at people with cybernetics and think back, your eyes flick to a face, flick back, and then your memory, you bring back the earliest days when you were with Pro, before even Sebastian came along. when he was less guarded around you, when he just thought you were a drone. And you remember this photo that he kept looking at of a young girl, and the facial features just seemed to line up. And the name comes to you. Riley. Across the room, short hair,
Gee.
changed, stands a woman that is strikingly familiar.
How far away am I from Pro?
He's close by. He's actually by the window looking out, doing some weird stuff with his hands, swilling a drink.
I approach Pro and I squeeze your cybernetic arm and then realize you've got a cybernetic arm and I squeeze your shoulder instead.
Oh, gee, Eve. Didn't see you there. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted.
Pro, I need you to remain calm as I'm about to tell you. There are people here. I believe potentially assassins. I point out a couple, like, visually with my eyes to be like, this guy and this person.
Okay.
However...
If there's a place to do it. And I like looking skeptically around at the room of elites.
However, there is one individual that requires your attention.
My eyes dart over to, like, Isaac. And the people around him.
No.
Yeah, who's that?
No, it's another. And I sort of turn you more towards who I perceive as Riley.
And she's looking away. She's actually talking to someone. But you see her.
Do I recognize her?
She's older. But the cheekbones, the hair, the colour, the look, the eyes are different. But it's her. You'd seen a flash of her in Bagrov's memories.
If there's anything I ever needed to destiny roll for.
You start to see, without even like, you blink and it's almost like your vision splits and overlays and like glitches in a couple of places and you hear this.
Oh, fuck off. Not now. Destiny roll 11. It's tenuous at best. Okay. Shit.
Do you need me to get Seb?
That's my girl.
Pro,
Yeah. What? Sorry. Just a little in my head right now. Didn't think I'd,
Go say hi.
fuck off.
do you require Seb?
I don't know what he could do. I can't help but like piercingly, like my eyes are reaching, like I'm doubting, and I need it to not be her for some reason. Even though I'm like, I needed to find her. There's something in Pro that there was always a picture of what that would be, and this just wasn't it. So
She's also dressed in like, you recognize it. She's wearing corporate, like, business suit attire, like tight-topped collar, pristine, standing straight-backed, upright.
okay. So just to sort of suspend in Pro's head for a moment, and obviously there's a lot racing around, and there's also
Stuff rattling away in there.
But what I guess in terms of figure out, I just sort of need to speak it all out so I can figure out what he's going to do. This is the person who, I don't know how much I should say without actually being in roleplay, so I won't. But yeah, this is the first real person in his life that saved his life. So there's, I think, aside from fear and reality being very shocking right now, and in a place where he can't be real or like rescue or whatever it is. First of all, there's someone who doesn't look like they need rescuing. Second of all, it's not what he expected. But at the same time, based on everything he knows, and the only thing he has in his head that is a different image is the one that he had implanted on the night that he stole
Stolen,
Bagrov.
basically, yeah.
Was the picture of her in
On the
Melbourne.
docks in Melbourne,
But
yeah.
aside from that, there's years and years and years of knowing the vulnerable and genuine, like, friend that he had for years, and he and she saved each other through so much turmoil. So all his thinking is, okay, if this is real, I've got to talk to her alone. I just need to talk to her alone. So I turn to Eve and I say, yeah, let's get Zeb. And I sort of like duck to the side and grab Zeb.
So anyway, I was in the process of donating plenty of money when the damn little orphan bit me. Oh, what a little shit he was. And it didn't stop me.
And you will walk up at this exact
On my
moment.
way, I sort of mumble to Eve, wait, Corp Assassins, do you reckon she's...
Perhaps you should do a background check. If you can, I will grab Zeb.
How the fuck would I do that? I've been looking for her for years. Just should have thought to do a background check. Fuck me.
I am, but
I offered to buy one and raise them in the house
Sebastian,
like a little pet,
there
but
is
they wouldn't
a
let
medical
me.
emergency that requires your assistance.
Well, that's lovely. Well, keep up your charitable work and, yeah. Fancy a little wager, so you can donate more in the next 6 months?
If you'll excuse us, sir.
Oh, Sebastian, we know you don't have any money. I wouldn't make a challenge you can't keep. But it's good to see your family's taking you back in, you little ragamuffin. Talk of the town for months, you were.
All right, well, evening. And then I walk off.
Don't forget your old Uncle Chester. Bye.
Yeah, just curious, Mr. Action Man, who always knows what to do in every situation. What the fuck would you do if you looked across the room and saw, Maya, like, just looked different and, like, I didn't, this is hypothetical, but fucking, it's Riley. She's here.
Which one? Where?
I point to her.
Is there any recognition from me?
Have you seen her?
You were there for the conversation, but photos, I can't be sure.
No, I wouldn't say I was there for photos, but do I recognize her as a member of elite society in any way?
No.
No?
No.
Is there anything recognizable about her that I could tie to a specific business entity or family?
This time you can make general knowledge challenge level 3.
Oh, good. Even better.
3?
She seems to be deep in conversation with a member of a pharmaceutical company that doesn't do what Ambien Pharma does. They're actually a producer of a whole bunch of painkillers. But beyond that, you don't really know much. Just the company, sort of where you'd find more information, etc.
I passed the name along to Pro of the pharma company. Be like, well, she's talking with these people. Maybe there's a connection there. Do some work, and if the time's right, we'll approach.
Time's got to be right. I've never had this opportunity. Obviously, I've been searching for it, and they're going to have some fucking show and whatever. I need to speak to her privately, and I need your help. I can't approach her, not around other people, but I don't know. So if you use your charm and ask her out to see the view, I could wait outside.
Why not a potential business proposition?
Do I get the corporate assassin vibe from her?
No.
At all?
Not to the same level. No, she has obvious cybernetics. The corp assassins are like seamless and have a different aura.
Look,
she does have a very cold look in her eyes, though.
we've talked a lot, like more than anyone you could even fathom could talk, because it's all we could do for years. It kept us alive. Surely if I could just talk to her. maybe she'll forgive me and I can save the rest. But at least know that she's okay. That's all I need to know. Maybe she wasn't for me to save.
It's all right. I'll see if I can get her outside. Just hang tight.
Yeah, appreciate it. I tap you and I'll just walk out, beating sweat.
I'll go with Seb.
I would like to order her a drink.
Always works.
Okay. You're going to go straight up to her?
Yeah.
Cool. Bear with me for 1 second. Sorry. I thought I could get it done in time, but I can't. Sorry, guys.
It's not good enough, Dave.
And the music swells in the ball.
Everyone's dancing
And a few
together.
people start doing a few little waltzes. And
I don't know why this character wasn't there, but I'm very confused, but it's fine.
Dave's distracted. Quick, take over narrating. And then a stand-up comedian gets up in the middle of the room. He's like, all right, welcome to the fucking city. And it's party time. And sorry, I'm ruining that.
No, it was great.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did someone boo? Did you just hear a boo in the applause?
It was a boo in the
There was a boo. It was like, yeah, fucking boo.
I was saying boo words.
All right, so Seb heads on up.
Oh, and Eve.
And Eve
Thanks.
gets halfway before bumping into someone else. Sebastian Allen?
What's this guy's name? Do I know him?
Rags.
Yeah. Politician man from the rooftop.
Oh, hey, Rags. Pleasure to see you, but I am actually in the middle of something.
He grabs your arm.
I shake it off.
As you shake it off and you push away and walk past him, he leans in, and as you're walking past, says, go to the Doom. You bring everyone then. And then he walks off.
Cool.
I'll stop in front of him.
He barely regards you. He starts to walk away.
Query. What do you mean by doom?
Drone? Why? Go attend your master.
Understood.
He starts to walk away.
Oh, yeah,
You could talk to him, but you would need to push outside the realm of the
Yeah.
obedience of a drone.
No,
That's a
it's
choice
fine.
your character needs to make.
Yep.
I go with Seb.
Okay. Riley. You approach. Cold eyes dart up and make contact with yours.
My equally cold eyes dart up and meet her eyes.
She got a knife in her.
Maybe. Maybe I zoomed in quite a lot. She doesn't say a word.
Good evening. Do you want a drink?
I don't have a meeting with you.
Well, can we make time for one?
Why?
I don't know. I saw you across the room and I just had to speak to you.
Make a raw reflexes check.
Can I do a medicine check on her?
Oh, base 3+.
1.
Almost in the space of you blinking and opening your eyes again, even as a bespoke, she's just moves very quickly, darts on springboard feet, not in an aggressive way, but she just does a 360 around you and looks you up and down, and then she's standing in front of you and flicks a bit of hair back behind her ear.
That was impressive. Sebastian. I hold out my hand.
Riley,
Pleasure.
what do you want?
As I said, just wanted to have a chat. Saw you across the room and I was a bit enchanted. Like I'd seen her face from the past.
You trying to be charming? Make a persuasion
flirting
check.
with her?
I'm just going to give you a challenge level of 5.
I would like to do a destiny roll for advantage. Use a destiny point for advantage.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Look at my dude bringing out all the stops to help me out. Fucking Knuckles. Bloody
what
legend.
What a fucking bro.
What a fucking bro. He takes the bro code to a whole new fucking level.
You
What a
wingman.
bloody legend.
Fine. So talk.
I hold out my arm and said, let's go somewhere a bit more private.
Sure.
Cool. I walk out to the balcony.
She goes out to a balcony with you. You find a secluded spot.
So, Riley, what brings you here tonight?
Business.
Well, of course.
You'd know that. You're the one that approached me.
Yeah.
So what's your predilection?
Knowledge, usually. How about you?
Business.
And what type of business are you in?
You know that already, or we wouldn't be out here.
Well, you were talking to another man in the pharmaceutical industry. Are you in pharmaceuticals?
Are you wasting my time? I have clients to get back to.
Clients, but yes. That means you provide a service, but what service do you provide?
One that includes tight-lipped assurances. If you're not a discerning customer, I have nothing more to talk to you about.
What can I see about her that would indicate... Is there anything I can see about her that would indicate what line of work she is in, given how heavily modified she is?
With your
And her speed.
perceptions, you're not especially knowledgeable about tech, so I'm happy to get you to roll a general knowledge, and I'll just scale information about her cybernetics based on what you get, but it'll be pretty vague without a specific, like, engineering or tech skill. 4 successes. These are still good. She seems very augmented. Both, like, all of her limbs seem augmented, but she's also in quite nondescript, like, generic corp attire for a function like this. Everything about, while she's striking with some of her cybernetics, it's not completely unusual for, like, security and stuff. Given the speed, you would anticipate some amount of strength, violence, potentially.
Yeah.
Your gut instinct would be corporate security.
Yeah.
But given that she's talking about clients, who that security's for, you're not sure.
Yeah. You know, I did get you out here for an ulterior motive, but I feel like you could provide a service. See, I've recently had a bit of trouble. You know, went out to the slums, got kidnapped, tortured for 6 months. Wasn't great. Just looking out for some decent security. Is that your line of work?
She leans back a little bit, Destiny roll. Her eyes narrow, and you see lights flickering in her irises.
Yeah, do the search.
Sebastian Allen.
The one and only.
Learned a lot from you.
Yeah, such as?
Organ transplants don't seem to work too well.
Oh, yeah, I did learn that as well. Horrible stuff.
Well, here I am. What are you going to do?
Oh,
Push me
nothing.
off the balcony?
As I said, I got you out here for an ulterior motive.
Oh,
I was just curious, and this is when I flag. Pro.
Pro's probably in the mid-distance,
I wave you over.
looking over the horizon and sort of peripherally listening. Takes a deep breath and then starts to slowly walk towards Riley and Seb on very shaky legs, very human legs.
as You walk over. Her head turns towards you, and her eyes lock with yours. Her face remains impassive. You walk closer. Just staring.
As Pro gets closer, he's slower, but he doesn't stop moving closer. I think he's trying to figure out if, like, now more than ever, he's really wondering if reality is a simulation. Like, this is just like, this can't be real. As he's slowing more and more, but still just edging closer until eventually he's probably a few feet away. How is she
As
reacting?
you get closer, there's just a sense of pressure in your head from outside, and you get this, yeah, closer.
Not now, fucker, not now.
Her hair, that smell.
Riley.
She looks at you, looks back at Sebastian.
I got my nickname from you, You remember?
Who have you brought me, and how have we wronged them?
Right into breaking his heart.
Looks you up and down. Slummer. Fairly uninteresting.
Riley. It's Riley. It's me.
Yes.
Bro. Peter. No.
Just shrugs very lightly. Can't keep track of them all.
Reasonably sort of abruptly and almost against my will, I just sort of like edge forward like a little too quickly, like just to like look her in the eyes.
How close do you get?
At this point, I'd say like a foot and a half away from her
So
face.
very like there?
Yeah, like a little too to personal space.
Destiny roll 12. Make a reflexes check. Raw reflexes.
Yep.
This isn't about violence. This is about speed.
Yep. I get +1. 1.
Now.
Faster than you approach, she just like recoils slightly, like a half step, pulls back. Also, she's moving within human parameters. I do want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Artificially boosted with cybernetic limbs, so kind of like a punch spring, she can like move off a little bit quicker. You can still see and perceive her motion. It's just like, fuck, like you couldn't react to it. It's too fast unless you were ready. Like trying to catch a speedball.
Riley, what are
She
you?
recoils back and you notice she pulls into a slightly defensive posture.
Look, I'm not trying. I don't want to be threatening. But what do you remember about where we're from?
Really? And I thought you were a customer. A bleeding heart.
Still could be.
She starts to walk away.
What did they do to you?
She like straightens up, just starts to walk back into the building, takes a few steps.
Wiley Riley.
5. Destiny 5.
All right, I don't think she's in there.
Wait. And not able to help himself, he runs in front of her and just blocks her path. It's like, you've got to give me 5 fucking minutes of your time. I've been looking for you for years. How did you end up in Australia? I know
I don't have time.
you're on the Circle's time now, huh? Because you can't be on your own, and they wouldn't let you go that easy. But they knew you'd be useful. And look at you. You are, aren't you? I bet they thought they could really fuck with me by doing this to you. But you're in there, I know you are.
Are you inside, Eve?
No, I'm out there with them.
Do you remember Bagrov? You remember Bagrov.
Of course.
Yeah, it's my fucking passenger.
You killed him.
I like tapping my head. No, right here, alive and well. He's a piece of shit now, and he was then. But just because he's in there doesn't mean I'm not me. And just because you're fucking buried doesn't mean I can't pull you out.
Who is facing into the building? Because he's facing away. His back he's blocking.
I'm
it.
facing into
Perception
the building.
check. Pro's probably a bit blind of what's going on now anyway as well.
Can I make a perception check?
You may.
too?
Challenge level?
I just want to see what you get.
3.
3 successes.
Yeah, I got 2.
Sebastian, there was a cock of the head that Riley did midway through. Little slight cock, little slight motion. And as you're looking towards, your eyes dart around and you see a bit of a change in motion as 2 figures in suits start to just like do that thing where they're like walking politely but past people with urgency, heading out towards the balcony.
Yeah, Pro. I think it's a lost cause and we're about to have some company. Maybe we should head back inside. I think the entertainment's starting. And I'm going to try and forcibly walk with him.
You said Bancroft's in there.
Yeah, you got a message for him?
She puts her hand on your cheek. Delicately. Strokes her thumb across your cheekbone. Looks into your eyes. And then, dead in your eyes, she says, I'll get you out of there, honey. And she smiles. Turns. Starts walking
I stop
away.
her and I do the same. And I say, yeah, me too. And I let her go.
Cool. And right as she like takes 2 steps, 2 guys in suits who you now recognize to be like the full gilded standing there. You all right? Are these gentlemen bothering you?
We're just having a chat.
I didn't ask you.
We're old friends. Go on, tell him.
She looks at them both. Pro notices the telltale signs of discrete communication between them cybernetically.
Riley and I go way back.
We'll be seeing you very soon.
Of course you will. I wouldn't have it any other way.
She walks inside. The 2 follow. Shit.
Well, fuck.
Pro, yeah, just sort of takes 10 steps backwards, sits on the edge and just takes deeper breaths than he thinks he's capable of, just to try and...
Funny, her heart was organic, though it seemed mechanical underneath with her gestures.
I gotta believe no matter how broken someone is, they can be unbroken. Because if that's not true, then what's the fucking point? She's there. I know she's there. Just like Maya's there.
Had you told us that Bagrov was in your head, by the way?
I don't know that if I
don't think you
said
had.
that explicitly, no. I definitely... so I know Johnny knows. Mm-hmm. And I think you've probably just noticed I've behaved weirdly, but I've always behaved weirdly.
But that's the answer
But
to
I've
sort of that
definitely
question.
sort of like, I've blatantly said, I have someone in my brain.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well,
Wow.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but she is mixed up in some bad shit. And I think you've just made her very angry.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've ever been this angry either, but you know what? It's not me that did it. That's not her. There's
Yeah.
a fucking cancerous root we've got to dig out here.
Speaking of cancerous root, it looks like we have the carrot. We need to sort out your little ghost in the shell.
Oh, shit. I did say that, didn't I? Fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, look, it's no big deal. He just sort of,
No big deal.
he thinks it's tough.
yeah, well, fortunately for us,
Pro, as you say he thinks he's tough, your arm just jerks into a flexed fist, like you just pulls up in front of you in a fist, completely involuntarily. And then you feel complete control of your arm.
oh,
Huh.
all right, well, I know where we're going after this.
Agreed.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I think we try and get him out of there.
Yeah.
And you set up a meeting with Father Dearest, get some enhancements. Maybe he can reboot your augment onboard computing. See if we can get him out of there. Put the fucker on a USB stick.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Yeah. That's very wise.
I am going to roll a destiny roll. You have set things in motion that I did not anticipate with the things you've said, the people you've said them to, your directness, etc.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Yay.
And
Roll the 1. Shit. Building explodes.
It's one of those rolls. Last week it was for humanity. Now you know you're like getting late season feels when you're like, this destiny roll is for the human race.
like, I'm honestly, I know it might not seem like that. I'm at one of those points as a GM where I'm like, I know I'm in control of the situation, but there are certain things that are hard in the world that if I compromise on the behavior will undermine the threat.
Of course.
So I'm going to roll a destiny dice.
Do you want it to be the purple one?
You can pick the dice, guys. You pick the dice. Because you just told what is seemingly a circle agent that you killed one of their own, identified yourselves to their face, and you have something they want.
I feel like it would be naive of us to assume at this point that they don't know every single one of us, which is why I was relatively blasé about it.
That's fair.
You might have assumed that, but
especially given how cynical Seb is being, like, and the shit he has learned about how society, both upper and lower class, operate. They would 100%.
You're not entirely sure how all of the pieces connect at this stage.
Yeah, still.
Also, the information that may be deliberately obscured from her mind that isn't from other people's.
Rip off the
Such as
fucking
someone
band-aid.
here.
What's done is done.
Someone here that could be a weak point in some programming or something like that.
No, I get that.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know.
Well, she does now.
Or it's seemingly she didn't know who you were.
Oh, okay.
That's so.
Well, I feel like that was what you said. She had like a far off look in her eye while it was flickering.
And that from that moment onwards, it seemed like she got some information. Yeah. For you. So the thing is, I'll be meta here. They've been tracking him.
Yeah.
So she had a him-shaped hole in her mind. She had a pro-shaped hole in her mind. So she doesn't know anything about pro.
Yeah.
They weren't tracking Sebastian Allen.
But they would know about him. I mean, she openly said that I'd spent time with them.
That was after she scanned you. So she, like, that's what you said. She had the moment of like looking you up, and then you were on her radar.
Okay.
So they were looking for pro, but Riley had no concept of who pro was, and that was very deliberate. So there's some clarity, so you'll understand why that went the way it did with the information that was given.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh yeah, what dice am I rolling, everyone?
Just roll the one in front of you, and everyone forgive me for saying that in a moment. Go for it.
Makes sense. It was perfectly good for the character.
Oh, thank God.
10.
All right.
So you know what that means by Dave's reckoning? No. It means the situation is still bad and everything you've done is going to have the same horrible outcome, because that would, that's a bad roll. This is mid. A good roll would have been things go all peachy. But there is going to be...
It's not going to be any worse.
Something else that can offer you an olive branch.
Yep.
So the 10 down the middle of the road is the bad thing is still there, but there's an option of some hope on the other side. All right, let's get back into it.
I gather myself, sort of like try and straighten up and realign my suit the way that the bathroom butler did. And as it crosses my mind, I say to Seb, getting Bagrov out by a similar procedure, do you reckon there's a way to isolate some of my own chosen memories and upload them somewhere? Basically what was that?
Eve, you sense a strange digital distortion on your phone, buzzing.
I pull it out.
and it starts to ring. You guys doing what you're doing? This is just Eve.
Yeah.
Let's say turning a human emotional experience into something of a brute force attack. Mechanizing for a specific delivery.
Ah, you want to take out your memories of her and upload it into her.
They've forced me to be out of her mind. But she's in mine, and she won't be able to deny that my reality could have been hers if I can show her. I can make sense of the hole that they've made.
I mean, look, it might be possible. I have no idea.
Your phone starts to connect.
Can I just say, if my phone was ringing, that's not the noise it would make?
It's not ringing.
Oh, okay.
It made a weird digital
Fine.
glitchy sound, and then you're looking at it, and you actually see like some of the apps and stuff. One of them just deletes.
Oh, it's Persona. Okay, great.
And one of like there's a notable like something is happening to your phone.
Okay, is there any way I can react to
And
it?
then it just comes up. Your phone app just comes up, and you just see numbers start to like dial on your phone.
Bro?
Yo. Oh, shit.
Yeah, flash my phone to you.
And then it says calling, and then connected.
I think he's your friend.
I chuck it on speaker.
You check it.
You chuck it on speaker at a party.
Wait,
We're out on the
why?
balcony.
There's people here still. It's not like there's no one there.
Oh, I assume
like
we were
people, a couple of
all-
people million. You know, it's a balcony at a big party with like over 100
chuck it on
people.
speaker and just
Okay.
trying to bring the group
They'll
a
have-
little bit closer.
Okay.
Monitoring.
Patch us in.
That's fine.
Yeah, patch us in.
Sure,
Just-
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Eve,
Ning.
you've fucked up, haven't you?
I don't think Eve has.
Eyes were watching you, thankfully. Why?
Why what?
Why did you stir up the hornet's nest?
Hey, don't blame me for that. I was just doing a favour for a mate.
I blame you collectively.
I mean, it sounds like you were watching. You could have stopped it.
No.
What in this analogy would be the equivalent of that misty spray that people use to calm the fuck down?
You were bountied.
As in I have been, or
You were bountied.
great. Cool.
Do not leave the city. If you have a safe place in the city to stay, stay there. Trust in the security that your company and connections can provide. The bounty is low at this stage, but a mercenary may take it. If a Corp Tech assassin does, I do not know how good the Allen security is, but your life is in imminent danger.
So stay in the city and get better security. Sounds like we might want to do some kick-ons with the Clements.
Why are you looking out for us, concerned stranger? For me.
Or
Us. We all have a bounty?
just you.
Great. Okay. So, why so friendly?
I believe your development is tied with Eve's. But if you would rather leave this party without her, I can assure Eve will be safe.
No, I'm just wondering who you are and why you have my best interest in mind to tell me that I have a bounty and you want me to keep safe.
Because Eve might be the key to unlocking something I need. And you seem to be unlocking her.
All right. So I guess I'm becoming a bodyguard. Cool.
That's what you got from this conversation?
Well, now Eve, gotta look after you and Seb. Your dad and I had a conversation. He thinks I can keep an eye over you.
Do not stray outside of the protection of the corpse.
Right.
They are both your shield and the dagger at your back.
Is there any way to tell who posted the bounty?
And is there a way to remove it?
That would be difficult. I think you know who placed the bounty.
Well, yeah. More specifically,
Kanan,
who's funding it?
the circle.
It is posted anonymously. But the funds are already wired.
Do they need proof?
It says public.
Does it happen to state whether probe must be delivered alive?
In pieces.
Perhaps it might be best if we visit your doctor sooner rather than later.
I wonder if he's got any spare parts.
Also-
There is an alternative.
Enlighten us.
The opposite advice. Leave the city. Break contact with all surveillance. Go dark. Go to ground. Don't contact anyone. Don't approach anyone. And achieve your mission. Kill the girl. Take out Kanan.
With no money, no resources, no communication. Something tells me that'd be a bit harder.
And I recall telling you to be on your best behavior tonight, lest you make unwanted enemies.
These enemies were going to be made regardless because we came here.
But you, have something that they want. Someone.
Yeah.
You're still on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Twitch. Great idea.
There is a third option.
Shoot.
Peter is gone. For good. Removed from existence. His parts scattered. His bounty claimed. Peter. Pro. Have you considered being the second slummer raised up and given new identity, new face?
I don't trust that I'll keep any of myself to do what I need to do. If I could, then I'm open to it. But I can't trust anyone who's serving this technology as far as I can throw them.
Well then, the last distasteful option. You die. You kill yourself so you can continue your mission. Reboot would be much easier than new you. Your new body, it would have your memories, your goal, your purpose. You will die, but it will pick up where you left off.
Thanks for the advice.
I measure your time in hours, days maybe. Corp assassins are efficient. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a party to get back to.
And the line severs.
Party.
As I said, felt like they were watching us. Creep is probably here somewhere.
I don't understand why he couldn't just call me like a normal person. My ringtone is the Macarena.
Because all of your connection stuff is in Pro, and like you all have a secure system that Pro sets up back at Uglies. It's like a secure networked phone cell thing.
Eve is still sad regardless.
Okay.
Well, Pro, I'm sure that didn't go the way you expected.
It certainly did not. But I feel like a fucking idiot for expecting anything different. I can't not think that this can be turned around. For some reason, the way that came out of Pro's mouth feels a little more like it was more on autopilot than like he's saying something he still believes.
Well, that's a problem for another day.
And
Now
what
we're
about
just gonna-
today? Are we staying or going?
I think we stay. Besides,
Visible. Near your family, near the Clements. Watch
Yes.
the show.
let's go meet our gracious hosts.
What's near the Clements? You hear as Isaac walks out onto the balcony, drink in
you've
hand.
been so
Butler
busy
following
all
behind.
evening on this wonderful evening. We didn't want to bother you, but we're just so delighted to be here, sir.
Make a deception roll
Why deceive? I am delighted to be.
to cover your current flustered, stressed, sweaty. Only challenge level 2 to beat. You got
4.
4. Cool. You pull it off. You just switch. It's the drugs mostly. Well, all right then. Well, of course I was going to make way for you, make some time for you all. It's because of you tonight can even happen.
Yeah,
It's a big night.
We've heard rumor of some entertainment happening this evening.
Yes, absolutely. We wouldn't put on a night without it.
Tantalize me. What's happening?
They're about to start. So why don't you just come on in and see for yourself?
Let's do it. We have a long night ahead of us of celebrating.
Have you had
Excellent.
enough to drink? Can I get you a drink?
Look, I always have enough to I always have enough to drink. My liver regulates whatever I need.
All right. I'll be back with a drink.
Maybe we should get something stronger.
It wouldn't matter, mate. Told you. It's a good liver. Paid top dollar for it.
So is mine. But I'm sure there's something we can find that'll get through to it.
Oh no, you misunderstand. And he flicks on his watch and like does something discreetly, and he's like, it does whatever I want it to do. And I don't have plans on getting out of control tonight.
I sort of slink back with 2 drinks, and I'm like, well, at the very least, I can make a nice gesture.
Get him a drink.
I want to thank you, sir, for the opportunity. This is truly something that someone from my situation could never have dreamed of.
Well, he raises a glass. He's like, to the future. You've seen the news, everyone, I'm sure. The slum riots are slowly quieting down. They're all excited about the big announcement.
Yeah, well, that's according to plan.
Less deaths.
Speaking of which, where is our songbird?
She's about to be revealed to the whole crowd. And inside you hear like glasses being clacked. And he turns and he says, go on.
To the party, and I hold up my martini glass.
He holds up his.
Now, I'm just intentionally holding the glass in a way, just for Pro,
Yeah.
with 2 fingers like a gun, like not intentionally, but this
Yeah.
is just for Pro in his head, just like thinking to himself, I'm going to put a bullet between your fucking eyes.
And he
Cheers.
looks
Just
at you.
that big grin on my face.
And he smiles and he drinks his drink and he has that look on his face that says, I'm fucking invincible. And turns and heads back inside. The crowd quiets. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. It is a momentous occasion tonight where we, of course, are revealing to you the very first slummer. And there's like a chorus of disapproved laughter and stuff like that. No. The very first slummer to ascend. To show everyone the unity that we can have together. The future. The bright future. The prophet. Hey! A bunch of people.
I like lean over to Seb and Eve, and I'm like, who'd have thought that yacht evening out would turn into something like this, huh?
To opportunity to humanity, to a new you. And curtains peel to the side. A single microphone stand raises from the floor.
I knew it!
And a tall girl with elven ears, Miss Nightingale, walks forward, grabs the microphone, closes her eyes briefly in a moment of nervousness, opens them again, and begins to sing. Beautiful, operatic music. And then, sort of 15 seconds in, she's belting out this gorgeous, like classical. It drops. And then she just immediately starts singing like modern, like straight into like a remix style modern song. And everyone's really into it. She's got a beautiful singing voice. Everyone's cheering. Yeah, I'm not going to sing. And after the performance, after a few minutes of performance, she waves and smiles. Isaac goes up, puts his arm around her. And then she says, welcome, the newest citizen of Australia, Miss Nightingale. Everyone claps. You'll be a sensation, darling. Wonderful. And from there, there's some discussions, things push on. Another 10 minutes of milling before she makes her way through the crowd towards you all and stands before you.
I just have pictures in my head of that sort of asymmetrically standing girl on the rooftop before I sent her in to talk to everyone about this.
The 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She looks like mid-20s.
Yeah.
That was
I'm not sure how to feel about this.
quite a performance.
She is suppressing a grin. Thanks.
You're all grown up, little missy.
Who wants to be a fucking teenager?
Interesting choice with the years.
Who wants to be boring?
You were never boring.
And I never will be.
You're very brave, that's for sure.
And she says, it's so easy to be brave when you've got everything.
And I sort of lean in gently, hoping that not a lot of people are around that can hear.
Hmm.
Now, how much of our songbird is in that nightingale?
The whole thing, I think. And more. He smiles.
Is that fire there for what you know we're fighting for?
A destiny roll for Songbird. A 5.
Oh.
And she says, every other one of them will be as lucky as me. And hopefully, with less fighting, there won't be little Amirs.
You're a tool, Songbird. They want you to feel that way. They want you to feel like you believe in what they stand for, but they don't stand for anything but to benefit themselves. And at this point, I'm moving into the point to, I just want to talk clearly because this may be my only chance. Every time they make you feel special, just remember how you felt on that rooftop when I brought this up with you. I knew they would try and lure you in and make the dream feel real, but it's not real. And I point out to the horizon, out into the city. Look at the slums. You can see it, can't you? Oh, wait, no, you can't. Because they hid it from you. They're hiding it from you. Don't let them hide it from you.
Make a persuasion roll. It's very good. You can have a destiny point for that convincing.
I'm going to use that immediately on my persuasion roll.
Okay. To give yourself advantage.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 5 dice, 4 successes from me.
3. Fucking. I'm going to use another destiny point. Oh no, it doesn't beat
Makes it 4, which would be a reroll. But then the destinies, you wouldn't have them for the next roll. I think
it would
we
make
could
a
allow you to
reroll.
keep the advantage. Yeah.
Maybe we just keep talking.
We all have
So-
to make conversation rolls.
I feel like if anything I could say would have an effect, I feel like this might be it. So I want to lean into it.
You want to spend your last destiny on
I have
this?
2 destiny points.
Yeah, so you've spent 1 to give yourself advantage, didn't you? Oh, you have 2 left.
You just gave
So
me
you-
1.
oh,
So
you
I've
had-
used it. Now I have 2.
Oh, okay. You're going to spend Everett.
I'm going to spend them.
Okay.
I'm going to beat her roll. She needs to see that I fucking mean it because she's the only one we have on the inside. She is it. Like, we are on the inside based on a family connection and we're about to be fucked. She is our only connection. And if she doesn't feel like the slummer she is and actually remember there's something to fight for and stop feeling pretty and special, then it was all for nothing. That's what this whole fucking season was about. So,
Yeah, fair.
I'm all in.
Fair.
It's passionate.
I've just lost
Okay.
a different fucking battle. I'm not losing this one.
We're going to talk through it.
Yep.
We know the outcome. You win. But you win the roll. How does that play out? You can choose to be miserable. I've suffered my whole life. I deserve this. Half the people out there, why do they deserve it? Why should I care?
Because they're you. You look in the mirror and you might see what they made you, but underneath that you're still that little girl. And just because you see what society has turned them into, doesn't mean they couldn't be just like you were. Heart of gold. You deserve good things because you are wonderful, not because they made you wonderful. But so are some people out there, and there are millions of them, millions of us. And Pro's eyes are like welling up as he's like looking in the eyes, and I'm like, so if you won't fight for them, then fight for me. Because I'm barely hanging on, and you're one of the last people I have left. Don't become them. Give me something to believe in here. Because there's very little left.
She looks around the room and looks at you with naive eyes of a teenager, not a mature woman. I'm me, and I'll always be different.
What was the name of her friend?
Amir.
Amir.
Yeah.
Of course. We'll do your stupid plan.
It's not a stupid plan.
Of course it is.
We can break down the boundaries that held you and Amir in place, and the society that was built to kill us and hurt her. You're not dead yet. And those feelings you have, those thoughts you have to roll it off, they put that in you. That's not you. You don't have to listen to it. Trust me. And I like tap my head. I'm like, there's stuff that gets in there that will try and tell you otherwise, but you can choose what to listen to, and I know who you are. Fight for that.
I don't know what you think they did to me. I'm not fighting anything.
You used to. For survival against a system they created. They made you sick. They starved you. That wasn't the slums. That was the fucking city. And it's a system built to keep you down. Now that you're useful, you're somewhere else. But don't think for a fucking second that if it advantaged them that they wouldn't just push you off the edge of this building right now. Because they would. And they will.
I'm not going anywhere, Pro. But I'm not as changed as you think I am.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah,
Swap numbers. I'll give it mine.
she does. And she says, you got to chill out.
Yeah.
I kind of want to enjoy this. I'd be bummed out thinking about Zhang moping around without me.
She's been unbearable.
And ugly. I bet he's acting like he doesn't care.
Never seen him work so hard to get out of the building.
Songbird, you deserve every happiness that comes to you. It is your choice to make in the end.
So do you, Eve. Does she know you're sentient? I don't think she does.
Doesn't. I'm happy still to say that to her.
Yeah. Hey, Eve, if you ever want better digs, you can always live with me.
Thank you.
Well, as I said, I'm still me.
Let's grab a coffee sometime.
Sure.
How's your schedule?
But, like, just so we're clear, not a date. You're way, way below my standards.
Sure.
She grins knowing she's laughing, but also knowing she's being very cheeky with the fact that she's now a mature woman and she's like, oh, la-di-da.
Yeah.
She's like, not a date, you know.
Yeah.
But she's also seems to be kind of like, there's a level of elegance or formal speech that actually does seem to have been like changed into her or programmed into her a little bit. So she's talking a little bit differently.
I'm glad you're having fun.
You should too. It's a fun night. It's my party.
For some. But
Hey,
have your fun.
Pro, I might be young, but I do know a few things. And one of them is like choosing to be miserable all the time isn't cool. Like, I know you can't change how you feel, but, you know, smiling doesn't mean you're not depressed. It just means that, you know, you can still feel, you can let yourself feel good and not punish yourself for it, even just for a minute.
Sure. Glad you found that luxury. Enjoy the minute.
How do you put up with him?
I'm going to like put my arm around her shoulder and walk her away from these two.
Oh, I had a question.
Yep. Look, it's a learned skill. I hope you're truly happy in who you've become. But if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's that I grew up with everything that I could ever want. And I still went out there to try and help people. And one of the first people that trusted me to help them was a 13-year-old girl missing her legs in a shitty situation. Now, we might not always be here. So I'm hoping that someone else in my position would go out there and help as well.
Just let me get used to not being in constant pain. You probably don't know what that's like. Wow.
Wow. It's either physical or it's mental. And it never really
She's
goes
13.
away.
I'm deliberately being a little bit blasé about these things because she's a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. It never really goes away. You just learn to deal with it. But, you know, you've earned it. Take the time to enjoy life a little.
Good. I'll be in touch.
He
Like-
pops her head in.
I haven't made friends here, and plus, I don't really want to because, like, they're all kind of creepy. So,
Oh, yeah, everyone's a viper.
Query.
and Eve,
May I have your autograph?
she smiles and says, "Sure,"
Hell yeah.
and she flicks out her tablet, pulls flicks her hand around in this little hologram that appears out of the tablet, and sort of signs it in 3D, and then this thing is minted and flicked off to your data
Yay.
as a unique proof of digital signature.
You got an autograph NFT.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Thank you.
You know what? There are elements of NFTs that are conceptually interesting, as
Yeah,
you know. And
for
in a
sure.
cyberpunk world where they can be cool,
Yep.
it's a neat concept. A digital
Yeah.
autograph that is one of a kind.
Yeah.
It's a neat concept.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't buy NFTs. What? What?
Enjoy your night, Songbird. And if we don't see you again, enjoy your new life. And I walk away. Intentionally cryptic and mysterious like.
Whoa, that was really cryptic and mysterious. Oh, let me join in. And
I walked away from you.
oh, yeah.
Get somewhere else.
All right. So, the night winds on and winds down.
I want to go back up to the Clements when I get a chance. I keep going.
It winds on and winds down.
It winds on and winds down.
I don't know what time it is.
11:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So unless it's critical.
No.
Okay. It winds on and winds down. And there is one. Eventually, you get to a point where you're ready to leave. There is one final opportunity where eye contact is made between the group and a strange man who looks at you. One of the only people in the room who looks at you with disdain. Unhidden.
Just Seb?
All three of you, because you're together. So you can't, it's like he scrunches his eyes and then smiles and then crunches his eyes. No, he's just looking at the group of you with like a look of dislike.
Oh, I really don't want to talk to him.
Don't have to. You can walk past. Last time I'm going to bring it up.
Why? What's his deal?
All right, then.
He's a politician, dude, yeah?
Let's show you why. And we walk over to him.
Okay. This won't be too long. Seb.
Look, I'm sorry I had to be somewhere. There was someone I really had to talk to. It was important. I also don't like being touched.
Right. So what do you want?
What did you want? You seemed very keen on talking to me earlier. Something about Doom.
Doom you've created? Yes. It's time to turn technology off and go to sleep.
Yeah. The Doom I've created, look, I've had an interesting year. You need to be a bit more specific.
Your little venture tonight was very successful, wasn't it, in quieting down the people? Nice job. Very good.
I appreciate that.
Stopping change. Stopping the only chance they ever had.
Well, I mean, that's a naive thought, but yeah, stopping change that's walking down a path on the bones and blood of innocent people.
They're always going to be bones and blood and always going to be death. This death is a death chosen by the corpse and not one chosen by them. And you have made a nice pacifier for them to suckle on while they die.
The pacifier is a friend of ours. And now we're on the inside.
Good. Achieve your goal. Get some personal vengeance against the corpse and achieve no real
You don't know our
societal
goals.
change.
You don't know the change we seek, but we're not, and I indicate around me, we're not them.
If you think that you were the first brash, bold
You're not. They will win. They always win. It is only united that the people have a chance.
Well, we're one of the only people here for the people. We didn't know.
You've
I didn't
already
know.
shut them up. I inspired something and you have deflated it. No riots, no uprising, no revolution.
Do you recall the death toll of those riots?
I don't care. It's
Interesting.
irrelevant.
What sort of impact do you reckon that had on the corpse?
Nothing.
You
think allowing the Slims
very
to throw
naive.
Molotov cocktails at themselves is really hurting them? We are trying to open a door so we can throw it through their fucking window. I sort
You-
of say through gritted teeth, not try not to be heard.
He's just like, you are so focused on your own plans and so sure that they're perfect. I don't need to know what they are.
So what are yours?
Do you know what that pressure did? I had 3 in my pocket ready to change things. The policy was all but signed. We were going to bring down the wall between the city and the slum. We were going to make everyone equal. The pressure of deaths is pressure. Don't think everyone in the city is blind to suffering.
You don't make equality by climbing up the hems of the giant. You bring about equality by cutting off its fucking head and watching it fall. That's why we're here.
That works when the giant isn't immortal. Cut off their head and watch as they come back. I gave you a chance to help me, and you chose school ground ethics. Go. Achieve your success. Bring down the Viper. Win your personal battle. I wish you luck. And I will move to plan B.
Well, good luck with plan B. Maybe we'll see you on the other side.
Can I ask a super quick question? Does he have a stutter or does he have a condition?
Oh, he's definitely cooked from whatever's happened in the last 6 months.
You don't know?
Can I do a first aid?
Make a medical check.
Sorry, I just gotta know.
No, I was wondering the same sort of thing. 3.
He seems like it's neurological, not physiological.
Okay.
So it's a psychological condition, not a physical one.
Okay. Cool.
Good night.
What's plan B?
If you'd been involved in plan A, you might have been able to help me. But you have chosen your path.
Yeah.
Heroes,
I was a bit indisposed, sorry.
go be heroes. I will try to mop up after you. For the first time, he looks at Eve up and down. That is all. And he waves you away.
We leave, I guess, yeah.
I told you he was annoying.
Well, this has been a riot, but let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, maybe we should go speak with the parentals about our latest situation.
And stick close to security.
Sounds like a plan.
And you file out of the meeting. Heading towards an unknown future, an unknown horizon.
What an eventful episode.
Yeah. Fucking.
Oh, there was like the Phoenix outside. The little girl was just like smashing bottles. And
I love how much Rob hates Rags. Just hates him with a
why?
passion.
It's
He's
like,
hated him from every time.
yeah, and it's like
Because he tried to manipulate me the first time he met me.
Oh, really? It's like the guy
he was
from
the
The
guy-
Office who's the
Toby.
Toby. That's right.
His first approach was he tried to give Seb
Second approach was thanking
Time Blanc. Time Blanc?
Tickle Duck.
Erasable.
Indistinctive.
Agent
Yellow Headress.
Sorry.
Maybe we just all say it.
I think we'll always catch each other.
So, thank you, patrons.
Legends.
His first interaction was that he gave Seb trackers to plant on the Clement's yacht so that he could find out what the hell they were doing with New You.
Which got
Oh,
found
yeah.
immediately.
No, he gave them away.
Oh, yeah.
And he put his own trackers on them instead.
Which were then found.
Yeah. And then, so Rags is a politician who has been campaigning on a platform of equal rights for slummers and basically trying to fix the systemic issues that are going to stop all the bad shit in the slums. It caused some riots. Mm-hmm. That's where we're at. And then New You approached Seb and says, these riots are really bad for business. We want to placate the slums by making with the lottery system that you guys suggested to basically to give hope to the slums so that they basically shut up and accept their lot. And it seems to be working.
Much to his annoyance.
Yes. So it seems like Rags has lost influence. And New You is back on top. And the slums are shut up with a pacifier in their mouths. It's good.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Makes my hand look massive.